Amelia and I are going to be reacting to money management ideas. How good are you at managing money?
I don't know. You don't let me spend my money on anything.
So great. You give the money to dad and dad manages it for you. That's fantastic. I love it. All right.
Be a millionaire by 27. 1, the more you learn, the more you earn. There's 2 curves in the world. There's a learning curve and an earning curve. The more you focus on the learning curve, your earning curve always follow. Make sure you always spend time learning. 2, who you hang out with is who you become. You can hang out with people who are pessimistic, who are negative, who are people who don't think nothing is possible. You're going to become that.
So the more you learn, the more you earn. Have you heard that before?
No.
And how about the second one?
I heard
Who you
that.
surround with yourself matters. What's
I
that?
heard that. I heard that before. People say the top 5 people you spend time with, that's who you're going to be the average of. You, Mom, Vivian, Ellie, and one of my friends. I'll be the average of all of you guys.
Understanding the value of money. I was blessed growing up with no money, and my parents didn't have a lot of money. So at early age, I had multiple jobs, and I worked 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And I know what it takes to make $100, $1,000, $10,000. So when I was younger, I used to save my money, and if I want something really, really, really bad, that's actually was expensive, I splurge on it once in a while. My main focus was to work hard and I save my money until something I really want. Today, what I see people do is they're always splurging, and they never actually save any money for anything.
Is it important to understand the value of money?
Mm-hmm.
Do we like this guy?
Yeah,
Should we have him on Real Estate Disruptors?
sure.
All right.
Not my channel.
No matter what, when you make money, split it in half right away. Don't put the money in your bank account and look at it as you got all that money, because you don't. Half of that money is not yours. So right away, put it over here. Create a account, call it the tax account. Put half of that there, so as you make money, you always put this money in the tax account. I never got to worry of giving the government their money, because that money's over there, and I don't look at that like it's my money. So now off of my half, what do I want to do? I'm going to take another half. This half is going over here. This half is for my next real estate investment. I don't know what it is. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm putting it over here. So when I do figure it out, I got it there to buy. So now I'm only living.
This is so ridiculous.
I'm only living off a quarter of my financial gain. I split it in half and I took a quarter. You only get in debt when you don't understand the breakdown of your finances.
Who's this?
Kevin Hart.
Who is he? How do we know Kevin Hart?
I know he's a comedian. I know he's an actor.
What was that character? Was it Snowflake?
Snowball.
Snowball.
Panda, listen, hey!
Take your money, cut it in half, hide it somewhere you can't see it. That goes to the government. Is that a good idea?
You can't pay all your bills with that. $50 while having a shelter.
If you're making millions of dollars, it's really easy. But if you're making maybe $50,000 a year, it might be a little bit harder. So maybe it's not 50, 25, 25. Maybe if you're making $50,000 a year, you might be W-2. You don't have to worry about the taxes. But then you just take 10%, put it towards investing.
Yeah.
10% put it towards savings. 10% put towards emergency fund, and you can live off the other 70.
Yeah.
All right.
Here are the top 3 to 5 rules on money. If you could boil it down to 3 to 5.
Money's a game, need cash, because opportunity is going to come up, and it's a doubles game. So if I put
Doubles
it down,
game.
it's a doubles game. Everything about money is a doubles game.
What's that mean?
The doubles game to me is I pay you $1,000. Can we double it in 6 months? No. How long? In 12 months? Okay, no problem. I'll do a double in a year. Here's $1,000. I get a double back, right? So if you take 1,000 and you double it every year, what happens? 1,000 goes into 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 256, 5 to $1 million. $1,000 is 9 doubles away from $1 million.
Wow.
Now you take $1 million and see what happens if we double it 9 times. 1 million goes into 2 million, 4 million, 8 million, 16 million, 32, 64, 128, 256, 5 to $1 billion. $1 million is 10 doubles away from $1 billion.
How do you find the doubles?
Well, that's the game. That's the part of the game. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So the doubles now becomes investment opportunities. You know, what you buy into. Do you start a company where it has a high value, you know, you can really scale it and finding something that can scale? Do you invest into things that are going to give you 6, 8, 10%, or are you going to go play ball and take the risk? That's the game that you're going to start learning.
I don't like it. It's going to be harder and harder and harder to double it.
How come?
Because even though money is worth less each year, it's 8% less. So he doubles it, what he has, 8% less. Doubles it, 8% less. But because he is doubling it over and over again, eventually it's going to become harder and harder to double it because it's more and more money.
Yeah. So he doesn't really talk about that, right? But that's great that you figure that out. So it's easy to take 1,000 to 2,000. Right? 2,000 to 4,000. But 10,000 to 20,000 becomes a little harder. 50,000 to 100,000 becomes a little bit harder. Great idea. But what we know is the wealthy people that have like $1 million in their bank account don't try to take $1 million to $2 million. They try to take that million to maybe 1.1 million, and they play it a little bit less aggressively to make sure that 1 million doesn't go down to 200,000. He's talking about betting big, betting big, betting big, betting big, which is a great idea. It only takes one bad bet to lose everything.
Yeah.
I'm basically in my late 20s now, so here are some money tips that I wish I knew growing up. There's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5 as long as you love what you do. There are a lot of 9-to-5 rich people. It's very hard to save money when the income coming in is not enough. So you can add additional income.
So a lot of my friends look down on people that work 9-to-5, that work W2 jobs, have regular jobs. Well, you're making that face. That's what this guy's saying. There's nothing wrong, right? There's nothing wrong with having a regular job. But I don't know, a lot of people that I hang out with tend to have this idea that people shouldn't work regular jobs.
Okay, well, like 9-to-5 jobs, there's restaurants. People work there 9-to-5. If you want to go to good restaurants, a lot of them work 9-to-5, like the chef. And if you want good food, you want good chefs. Some good chefs, they work 9-to-5, and people who look down on people who work 9-to-5 jobs aren't appreciating what they have daily. If you own a business and you look down on people with 9-to-5 jobs, you might look down on your own employees, the own people who are helping you make your money. The company money. People who are rich, sometimes they buy nice clothes, and some people who sell those nice clothes, they work 9-to-5 just to have that income in. So you're looking down on people who is selling you your nice clothes that you want. A lot of people who work 9-to-5 because it's money. You're getting more money. Like if you get money paid by the hour, you might work more hours because it's more money.
Yeah.
Side hustles like content creating, mow lawn, start a small business, or you can just marry rich. Investing money.
So the other thing he said is sometimes it's really hard to get wealth with your regular job. So he said you can go get a second job or a second source of income, side business. What do you think of that?
Yeah, if you need more money, go get a second income. It might be something you're doing online and there's no set hours and you just do it whenever you can. It might be set hours, might be posting videos or TikToks. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Is more important than saving money. If you just want to live, you don't want to work hard, make more money, you just want to clock in, clock out, that's your life, and there's nothing wrong with that. Learn how credit works. Just the basics, how it goes up, how it goes down, credit utilization, that's all. Your standard of living doesn't have to go high when your income goes high. And this is my favorite one. Money spent in 5 years is better than money spent now. Basically saying, rather than spending the money on something that you don't need today, it's better to save it or invest it. 5 years later, it's going to be better.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why?
Well, it's just you don't really need it now. You could pull it towards other things. You could be saving for a new apartment, or a new plane ticket to go see your family because it's really important, like insurance, healthcare.
Well, I think what he's saying is it's better to not spend the money today and invest it so you have more to spend later on.
Things I wouldn't do or buy as a money saving expert. Y'all are going to come after me for some of these in the comments, but bring it. I'm ready for it. First, I would never ever buy an extended warranty. Did someone say rip off? The extended warranty industry is a $40 billion industry, making billions on the chances that your item is not going to break. I don't wash my clothes or any of my family's clothes if they've been worn once. If they're dirty, I wash them. Unless you're rolling around in dirt, chances are your clothes aren't dirty the first time you wash them. If I go somewhere and they ask, do you want to round up and donate that rounded up amount to charity? I say no, here's why. If you're going to donate to a charity, donate directly to a charity. Many times when they ask you to round up, the company is getting a financial benefit for you giving the donation to the company, and then the company is giving it to the charity. This is the one that seems to strike a nerve with someone. I don't know why, but it does. For Christmas or birthdays, I don't always give my kids brand new gifts. Sometimes I buy them used stuff because they don't care. Let me give you an example. My 7-year-old wanted a telescope for Christmas, and how often is a 7-year-old going to use a telescope? The least expensive one that I could find anywhere online was $40. So I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found one for $5. He's used it once. When I'm grocery shopping, if there is a generic item to a name brand item, I almost always buy the generic item, and here's why. Generic items and name brand items are often made in the same factory using the same exact formulas. What you're paying for most of the time is just the packaging and the name brand marketing.
Buying generic versus buying the name brand. You know what she's talking about? So for example, like when we go to Fry's, right, we can buy NyQuil and DayQuil, or we can buy Kroger's equivalent of NyQuil and DayQuil. It's cheaper, but it does the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So buy generic. What do you think about the used toys? That's funny.
Yeah, I think it's good because you honestly do not know if they're going to use it often. So buy a cheaper one and clean it up, make it look nice. And if they use it often and they actually enjoy it, maybe consider buying an actual brand new one because you never know if they're going to use it or not.
So I'm going to get you a used book next year.
What kind of book is it?
5 things about finance you weren't taught in school.
That you're not supposed to save your money in the bank. Banks are not meant for storage, they're meant for transactions, for paying your bills, your rent. They don't give you any interest, so why are you saving money in the bank? Side note, the bank don't even save their money in the bank. What compounding interest is?
Don't leave money in the bank? Bank's not for storing money? Do you agree with that?
Honestly, no. It might not be the safest, well, it might be the safest place to store money, but you can always store it at home. But if you store it at home, you're not getting that interest that the bank offers you. If you store it at the bank, it might be like a higher chance of losing that money, but you're also gaining money.
I think his point is that if you have it in the bank, you're not investing. If you're not investing it, it's not growing.
Compounding interest is just interest on top of interest. And the average American is getting flat interest. What the rule of 72 is. All you do is take the number 72 and you divide it into any rate of return, and that's going to tell you how long it takes to double your money. Most people have this used against them, but you can use it to your benefit. What the 10-20 rule is. The 10 represents 10 times your monthly expenses saved up for emergencies, and the 20 represents 20 times your annual salary to retire.
10 months of your expenses and 20 times your annual salary to retire. So if you make like $100,000 a year, he's saying you should have $2 million in your bank account.
That's hard.
Is it hard?
Well, it could be hard because there might be financial problems and all that stuff. So it might be hard to put $20 of your annual savings and like save all that.
I'm glad you clarified it because we actually reacted to this video before and he didn't explain any of these things. He just said 10-20 rules, rule 72, this and that, and we had no idea what he was talking about. So 20, right? I guess what he's saying, the 20 rule, is if you get 5% yield, so if you have $2 million in the bank, and that $2 million makes 5% every year, it means every year you have $100,000 to live off of. So it's actually a pretty reasonable rule.
Things rich people won't tell you, so I will. 1.
You won't get rich on salary alone.
2.
Inflation steals your wealth, so
Inflation steals your wealth. Yeah, we've seen this message over and over again, right?
Yeah.
But if you notice it's more popular now, did you learn about inflation last year?
Yeah.
When?
Miss Vander puts on CNN 10 a lot.
Oh, okay. Watch CNN in school? Okay, that's wonderful.
3.
This is a big one. Buy assets, not liabilities.
4.
Never spend more than you make.
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah. Unless it's absolutely necessary.
Who doesn't know this?
I have no idea.
5.
This is really important. Pay yourself first, always.
6.
Compounding interest is the ultimate key.
Didn't the other guy say that compounding interest was...
The eighth wonder of the world?
Yeah.
Albert Einstein said that. She said pay yourself first. Do you know what that means?
No.
So you get your paycheck.
Yep.
You take your paycheck, take 10%, and you put it in your savings account, you don't look at it again. Or your investment account.
Right.
And then the rest of the money you can work with.
Yeah.
Most people don't do that. Most people see the whole paycheck in their account and they spend the whole thing.
Well, yeah.
All right, so you have to make sure you take that money, take some of it that way, put it in a different bank account so you can't see it.
Yep.
Yeah? So investing it in the stock market and ETFs and this and that.
Yeah. I definitely seen this one before.
Have you?
Yep.
Okay. So she said hire an attorney, right? So we have a different video. I don't know where our video is at. I'll have to check with Aaron. But what I would say is you hire the attorney and you fire more attorneys to monitor that attorney. Make sure he's doing a good job.
Well, what if the other attorneys that you hired aren't?
And then you have to have 6 bad attorneys, right? You have 5 attorneys monitoring 1 attorney. For sure, they're going to do a good job because you can afford it. You win $1.9 billion lottery ticket. You can afford 6 attorneys. All right. What we want to do is make sure you're taking the money and you set it aside and you invest it. Because you can't, I think that's the theme here. You invest it because you cannot retire on just your salary alone. What was your guys' favorite tip? Comment below. Let us know.